Hello, everyone. This is Alexander Koshelkov, and we have Ryan and Mir with us. And today we're gonna stream our version 12 alpha, codename Cheesecake. So, good morning, good evening, everyone, and we're gonna start right now. And okay, so while we load, just want to quickly say thank you, everyone who's joining us today. We're gonna share some details about what's going on in the development, what we plan. Also, feel free to ask us any questions in the chat and Twitter. Just tweet to @the Universim, and we have people monitoring it, and we'll bring your questions, and we'll answer as much as possible. Okay, and here we are.
Alex,
Yes.
slide your little Skype window to your other monitor if possible.
My Skype window?
Yeah, it's the Skype overlay. You can see it
I
on.
see mirror. Yes. Well, that's fine. All right. Thank you for information. All right. Cool. So what we've been doing recently, we published some updates on our the Universim website, which is theuniversim.com. And so our team is really hard at work. We're migrating a lot of stuff to. We're pretty much updating our engine, which is the Prometheus, and we're cleaning a lot of stuff, and we're kind of building the platform for our updated AI, which you guys should see within probably next few months. So it's a really big project. We're gonna update how our nuggets behave, and there's just a lot enormous amount of work needs to be done, and so yeah, we've been hard at work, and you guys probably the biggest issue that I personally have is like you guys don't see this kind of work happening because it's a lot of work behind the scene. And half of our team really concentrated on that, and that little bit stops us from releasing more new visual content, more content that you actually can try and see and stuff like that. But we're still doing our best. We added some of the new features in the V12, which will release patch today. Some of the small things and the bigger updates as well. So you can see on the Nuggets ID card, you can see what they're carrying in their bags right now, what they hold in their hands and stuff like that, which helpful because at sometimes like when you observe, when you're watching them do stuff and you're not sure what they're actually doing, like we don't have enough visual feedback for you to understand, hey, this guy is a stone miner, or this guy is a builder and stuff like that. So we're trying to resolve this issue and help you to understand what this little guy is doing. We also, on top of cleaning and updating our main engine, we're updating pretty much all the models in the game. We're improving them. We're adding LOD systems. So for people not aware of what's the LOD system is pretty much allowing us to have multiple versions of the models, of the building model, and it changed based on the distance from the camera. So when I move the camera from the HUD, the system automatically change the HUD model to low poly model, so which gives us a little bit better performance in the long run when we'll have like 20, 30, 50 HUDs. So we're kind of going through that right now and updating, so all our models will support that.
Yeah, hey, real quick, I was just going to touch base because I see a lot of people asking the same question in the
Sure.
chat. We did fix the crash issue that's been happening. A lot of people were seeing that in version 11, where they would get up to around year 100. Could happen a little bit before, or a little after, but we do believe we have that resolved. So in this patch, V12, when we release it to you guys, hopefully you guys don't have any more of those issues. So Just wanted to throw that out there for you guys real quick.
Yeah, sorry about that recent crash. It was hard to catch. Universim is very unique project where if we have some kind of bugs, some nasty bugs that appear like sometimes, so that's mean our QA team and developer teams have to spend enormous amount of time, because the crash that we've just fixed that most of the people had was only occurred at like maybe like hour in the game time or something like that. So what that means is, in order to catch something like that, you have to play really like close to half an hour, 40 minutes, in order to catch that bug. And if you miss it, that's mean okay, you lost it. Like you have to restart and do it again. And thanks to our great QA team, we have internal QA team that help our developers a lot. And we also have a forum QA team. If any of you guys interested to join them and help, feel free, just send us a message on the forums. We have a closed forums for internal QA teams, and we release updates early for these guys. So how it works, you just like say, hey, I'm awesome, I want to help you guys, I want to give you the feedback ahead of time before we go like public release, and we're gonna set up everything for you. We'll let you access the game build earlier than anybody else, and you will help us and all other fans tremendously. So as you can see, another change in V12 is, you probably noticed the season panel is very short. So why it's short is because we added the forecast tower. The forecast tower, you can find it in the expansion category. The forecast tower, it will reveal, it's very vertical building, and it should reveal you, it will reveal the seasons, and it will notify you about the season changes. It will notify you about the upcoming disasters, storms, tornadoes, earthquakes, and things like that. So it's still very pretty much work in progress, and we build a main platform right now, and we'll keep adding useful stuff to this tower. It will play a big role in your civilization. The goal of this building is to, as I said, predict season changes. We overall pretty much redesigned how we calculate seasons on the planets, how we calculate the temperatures, how we calculate the length, how long the winter, how long is the summer, and stuff like that. So as you know, we're aimed for, as we call it, organic gameplay, which is we're trying to simulate. So it's when we're talking about organic gameplay or organic natural planets and stuff like that. So we're talking about the planet being alive. That means every biome that you see on the planet is not just a static grass texture, or it's not just static stone texture. As you can see below, this temperature demonstrates you the temperature actually below my camera. So as you can see, if I go somewhere close into the mountain area, the temperature dramatically drops at times during the winters and stuff like that. So each biome has its own set of temperatures. They change based on the seasons. The cloud generates only above the oceans and stuff like that. So we spend a lot of time to kind of bring the life into everything that you see. So it's not just static. Again, it's not static visual biomes. They all with a purpose. Even plants such as bush plant, you can see, for example, it tracks the local temperature. So it knows, the plant actually knows what type of temperatures surrounding it. And if the temperature is too high or if the temperature is too low, it will kill berries. And as you can see, after berries collected or the berries died because of the extreme temperatures, they will start regrowing back. And when they will regrow back, that means nuggets can collect them. So I will assign our illo.
We have I got a couple questions, Alex, from the chat that I'd like to throw out there. One of the questions someone was asking was, where did the name Nuggets come from?
I don't know. It's just a lot of people start asking if it's like a McDonald's nuggets or something similar. In the reality, it's not. You can hear the horn of the forecast tower, but yeah, the nuggets. Pretty much, it's just like a cute name that really fits them. You know, it's definitely not the McDonald's nuggets. It's not the chicken nuggets. It's more like a small little creatures, and the nuggets really kind of like fits their names. There's not much of the meaning in that name. You know, it just fits them well, and we decided to call them like that.
All right, and can I do another question real quick?
For extra payment, for sure.
Well, the people want to know kind of when the patch will be released.
The patch will be released right after the stream, and so after we're done, everything is ready. We just need to click the button. But first, we just wanted to show you what we have for you, so you can ask us some questions as well. And then after we're done, we're gonna go ahead and release patch along with the patch notes. There's more bugs was fixed. There's quite a few bugs was caught and fixed. Some features was added, small and big ones, but we'll leave it for you to discover. For now, we can talk about we can answer your questions, and we can talk about what we're gonna do in the future. Anything else, Ryan, or we can?
Yeah, I mean, there's other questions I have. Someone was asking, we going to have aliens in the game at any point?
We want to have aliens, but we don't want to have. We probably won't have very military kind of based aliens. So it's not that much of the war. More like a. Overall, the Universim is not about the war or warship or something like that. So it's more about the discovery, about the evolution, and we plan to have some form of lives on the different planets. It just really depends on our AI, which is work in progress right now. We'll see what we can do, how smart they can be, and stuff like that. But we definitely want to have some surprises for you. And speaking of which, AI is again the big deal for us right now. We're reviewing few options and trying to find out what is the best way, like what is the best approach, which one is more flexible, which will give us more options and will be easy to manage, you know. And because we want to add a lot of life into the nuggets. So we want them to feel like they have their own thoughts, which is thoughts is actually the new system that's actually in production and will be released probably in the next patch or two. So what's the thoughts is this message box in their ID card, and every nugget will have their own thoughts. So they might say something, hey, I hate my job, I hate cutting the trees around, I love nature, or something like that. So they will have, all of them will have like a random thoughts. They will actually, you will be able to read what they're thinking about what they're doing at this moment. And so AI, back to AI, it was part of AI, but we want them to kind of like not be robotic, like doing the tasks, like going from point A to point B. What we want them is be more like a living creatures, you know, like that they have their own needs and their own decisions and stuff like that. So for example, if the nugget go from point A delivering the wood to point B, he can actually stop and do some random stuff, maybe start chasing butterflies, or will lay down on the ground looking in the sky dreaming, you know, stuff like that. And of course, as a god, you will be able to stimulate them by launching them maybe with the speed of light and to meet the mountain or something like that. Or you can be more polite and just poke them and say, hey, help me help you guys. and stuff like that. So the more God interactions comes as well with the new AI and updated system. We're working on ragdoll system where you will be able to pick up nugget, put them or assign them to the buildings. When you pick up the nugget, you'll see kind of circulated area where around the building. That's mean that building have a space for the nugget, and you can put the nugget in that building, and he will start working on that building. He pretty much will be assigned to the building. Also, the new AI system will assign nuggets itself. So that's mean our goal is pretty much to give you option on how much you want to interact with them, and it will be up to you if you want to micromanage them, if you want to like check each building all the time and see, hey, Ilu is here, or Adahi is like working as a fisherman and stuff like that. Fishman, he can be a fisherman. And so our goal is to provide you kind of options, and you can play the game the way you like it. So you decide how much of micromanagement you want. And pretty much that's about the AI. It's very challenging, and the main challenge is it's not hard to make Nugget to go from point A to point B to grab the resources and deliver them to somewhere. You know, again, main challenge is to make them feel like they're living creatures. Also, with all the systems, they linked together with other stuff. For example, right now we're going through the planet optimization as well. We're mapping planets with the road networks. So the road networks is something that you won't see from the beginning. So in the Stone Age, you won't have roads because it makes sense, right? So they're in here the notification of season, the forecast tower. So when the season change, it's actually notifying you that, hey, brace yourself, winter is coming. So you better start fishing or farming and stuff like that. But yeah, so back to the roads. What we're doing right now is, on top of everything that we have on the planet, on top of temperatures, object distributions, and all the craziness that's going on behind the scene that sometimes you guys just don't see it, but it's still very complicated engine. So we're mapping right now entire planet in the road networks. So again, this is behind the scene. You won't see them, but what it is, it's pretty much the grid that will be wrapped around it. And when the city formed, based on the object placement, based on the stone hut growth and stuff like that, the system will you will not be building roads. The roads will be built dynamically by nuggets. So it's not that you control that. They will form their cities by themselves. And that's very complex as well, and it works along with a new AI. So that's why we published a new update a few days ago. You guys can check it out on our website, and you can read a little bit more about our plans, what we're doing, what challenges we have, and pretty much know a little bit more about this, and ask us questions in the comments as well. We usually respond. Stuff like that. So when the road's ready, when we're happy with the roads, we will start moving into the new ages. We'll present medieval, then there will be modern age and space era. Another thing is good to understand is that some people say like, hey, it takes you guys so long to build the Stone Age only. You know, how long it will take you to build all other ages. It probably will take you forever. What you need to realize and understand here is that the Stone Age is the core of the game. This is actually the game, the main game. This is the beginning. If things work well in the Stone Age, we'll have less troubles to add all other ages, because all other ages is simply, we're not much touching core mechanics such as like AI or like all the procedural generation and stuff like that, because it's already done in the Stone Age. It's already took us gazillion amount of hours to implement that. So now when we're in medieval or when we're in modern age, it mostly takes us to add new buildings, balance the game, and implement new smaller features, which will be so much more faster. So it's good to know that.
So I got a couple more questions from the chat.
Okay.
This is a good time?
Yeah.
All right. Save feature. Can you kind of hit on that a little bit?
Yes.
A lot of people have been asking about that.
That's a part of the update. So the save feature is a little bit more complex than in other games because in our save and load system, our system needs to understand and record pretty much everything. The rotation of this tree, the placement of this bush, all the AI information, where the nugget was heading, what he was carrying and stuff like that. That's why we again very dependent on AI and the upcoming biggest update on the save and load feature. And the good thing is, like, we already keep that in mind, which means that the system is pretty much the load and save, like we can say, like, it's mostly ready. So it just, we're waiting on that main update that will allow us to link things together. There's a lot of things kind of ready in a good state. It's just like a matter of linking things together. So again, the Universim is a complex game, and it makes it hard for us to debug or to add new features in some cases because one feature depended on another thing. So if in some games AI break, like it's just the one enemy that you can shoot and kill much easily. In our game, for example, if AI break and it just breaking entire game because a lot of things dependent on it. And same thing, for example, with planet generation, or same thing with seasons and stuff like that. So imagine it needs to work like a Swiss clock. So if the season break, like if there's like one small issue or bug, that's mean it's ruining your game. That's it. Like you'll not be able to progress or anything. That's why it's more stressful for us to implement new features, and especially we're working in a very unique manner where we're working live with you guys. So we're 100% transparent. We let you enjoy features monthly. So our goal is to release updates every month, and it makes our work is extremely hard, mainly because there's a lot of responsibility and a lot of pressure. We don't have luxury of making mistakes. Yes, sometimes they happen, but again, it hurts us more than you trust us. So it's very stressful, and we would love to enjoy the game. Like this is our intention. So, and when you guys helping us with as simple things as just saying thank you or supporting us on the forums or on the social networks, that means a lot for us. So it helps our developers tremendously.
I've got a question that keeps coming up a lot. Okay. People keep asking about biomes for the planet and planet size.
Okay. So the question, the biomes and the planet size. So pretty much the planet size, we have no problems increasing the planet size even right now, and we will do that. Right now, for balance purpose, we keep it at around the same, but with updated system, we plan to increase the size of the planet tremendously. I mean, well, okay, I won't use the word tremendously, but we'll increase it dramatically. But okay, yeah, we can increase the size of the planet, and overall we plan to have different size planets. So the planets won't be always the same size. When you look in the sky, which is like a bad example, like I can like fly up and show you the sky. So what's gonna happen is all these white dots, which are the stars, will be the seeds that holding information for procedurally generated planets. We probably won't have 16 quintillion of them, but we'll have probably more fun in them. Like we'll have, again, the planets won't be static. They will have biomes and all other planets will have the biomes as well. It's not only one planet that will have most of the love, from the developers. This is a core. This is the main engine that will kind of spread along all of this to all of the stars and stuff like that. And they all will have a different biomes. Their biomes will be different textures, different grass, different models and stuff like that. So some planets, another big thing we're planning to have is terraforming. And when we're talking about terraforming, it's not necessarily that you will make mountains or you will make hills and stuff like that. You'll be able to change biomes. So if you land on a planet, you see it's all in the sand, or it's in the lava or something like that. You'll be able to cool the planets down. As you can see, like right now, our planet covered in the snow. After that, there will be ice. So if the temperature drops more than for example 40 degrees, it will start covering the planet in ice. And again, because of this all procedural and dynamic, all that we'll need to do after the engine is done is just simply as altering the temperatures on the planet, and you will start seeing the biomes. Like for example, wow, this planet has a red grass, or this planet has a whatever, the blue trees and stuff like that, because of you will be able to start seeing those based on the algorithms that was in use during the generation of the planet. And you'll be able to again alter the temperatures and see what's happening. Same thing with a hot planet. You will be able to in the space era, Nuggets will have some advanced technology where they will be able to install them on the planets and keep the planet temperature to the way they need for life. So that's pretty much what we're planning to do with biomes and with planets. Is that answering the question already, think?
I'm sure it did.
Okay.
Can you talk about the research mechanic? Because that's changing up a little bit.
Yeah, people, I think, sacrifice towers.
Yeah, I think some people are still confused by that, or still waiting for the actual research part to come back.
Yes, makes sense. Yeah, sacrifice towers. Again, this is, I mean, I want to call it, this is a stupid kind of moment in our development progress where it really holds us right now. So it really holds us from implementing new big features such as like research, which is we call like sacrifice tower right now, or research towers. I will talk a little bit more about it, but again, what happens right now, why we don't add it right now, is because we'll waste our time. So if we add it right now, that means we'll have to redesign it and readjust it for the new AI system and for the new buildings and stuff like that. So after we're done with this biggest update, which should take us a little bit, well, again, when we're talking about biggest update, it's more behind the scenes. So it will take us probably, we plan that it will take us from 50 to 60 days of implementation time and stuff like that. What will happen with just like changing some of the guts, cleaning the project and stuff like that. And after we're done with that, we will start moving more aggressively. We'll start adding a lot of new features such as sacrifice towers. How it's gonna work, we change it from having familiar kind of screen that you guys all knew and tried it. Probably the Civilization is a good example. That's when you click the button, you see the net of the research connected to each other. You can research one after another one and stuff like that. So we had that in the past. Some of you probably tried it, and we was not really happy about it because it really takes a lot from the gameplay. So it opens the new screen, it puts the game on the pause, and because we want to have a lot of research and we want to have a lot of unlocks and stuff like that, it really kind of becoming annoying to click on that, all the time. Like you start researching something for 20 seconds, now you get the notification, it's done, you have to click that screen, it isolates you from the game again, you're on another screen. It just like really breaking your impression and stuff like that. So we had we've been thinking about what we can do in order to kind of make it still more natural, more in the game, where it's not like separate screen and stuff like that. So, and we came up with the idea of having sacrifice towers or research towers. As you can see, like even with a forecast tower, you can see that Nugget walking vertically, and that's again the sign of AI, which is we can't change it right now because we're changing AI. We just don't want to spend time on making her walk the right way, because the animation, the Nugget bodies, everything will change. Like we've been doing some tests, and we shared on the Twitter yesterday 5,000 nuggets in our isolated prototype, showing much more promises, like allowing us to have more nuggets. And what's crazy about it is, so we had more nuggets with a better visuals, so pretty much with better animations, with more flexible animations, and we were having much more of them because we're improving the system. And that's mostly because of we have some of the greatest, well, the credit due is where it's due, but we have like greatest artists. For example, Vlada, she's doing some amazing 3D assets for us right now, and that's why we're going through the updates. Everything is super clean, super professional, like the details and everything is on the level, like we're not slacking on things like that. And so I forgot what I was talking about before that. Brian, what was the question again? I think I might be answered it, but
yeah, you answered it. I don't remember it either at this point, but I'm sure you answered it.
Okay.
People were asking about temperatures, though, how it affects everything. I don't know if you touched on that yet or not.
So yeah, again, another part of AI comes here. So the temperatures will. So right now the temperatures are not really affecting nuggets, as you can see. Like it might be extremely cold and stuff like that, but the nuggets, they're like little terminators. Don't care, like I do my job, go away. But what we're gonna have is temperatures will affect nuggets as well. You can see that we have this bar here that's frozen right now, and it shows their comfortable temperatures, which is set to 256 right now, which is, yeah, that's not comfortable temperature for anyone. But so here you will see on each nugget, you will see based on the current research. Oh, I just recalled what we talked about, the sacrifice towers. We'll come back to that. But yeah, so the temperature shows you, this bar shows you the comfortable temperature for the nugget. So that's mean this is the temperature he can leave and work at 100%. Enjoy his life and stuff like that. If the temperature will start rising too high or too low, nugget will start moving slowly. He'll start shaking or maybe burning and stuff like that, and he'll be slowed down. And you'll have the tools to make them go home if there's like extreme weather conditions, if there's sandstorms, if there's tornadoes, earthquakes. You'll be able to inform them, kind of like this was a horn in the village, and say, hey, get back to your houses, something big is coming, so you don't want to get hurt and stuff like that. So, but back to the sacrifice towers. In the sacrifice towers, you will have some technologies and research that will help increase these temperatures. So, for example, if Nugget goes to the planet that will have some extreme temperatures, he will not die right away. You can research some thermal costumes and stuff like that. And at the beginning, they will start naked. You will research clothing. Then you will research advanced clothing and stuff like that, which will add up more and more values here. So, which will make them more and more durable to the surroundings. And again, when they go somewhere in the space, on the planets that pretty much nothing can survive, their technology will help them to survive. And we're planning to add it through the sacrifice towers. How the sacrifice towers will work, we talked about it more on our website. If you're interested more on that, you can go ahead and check our news section on our website. But we'll have menus like this with icons kind of like this. Like you will have a choice. It's a complex system, which will take some time to explain how it works. But pretty much you'll have like a nodes that you can choose from, the perks. So when you click on the sacrifice tower, you see 4 perks, and you can click on any of them, and each of that perk will give you something unique and special. Some of the perks will be more valuable, and some of the perks will be less valuable and more common. So for example, something like a clothing can be rare perk, which if you see it in the sacrifice tower, you better click it because that's important update for the nugget. You know, it will change the way they live. Or there might be a perk that shows you, hey, we can increase female fertility timer 5%. And you can think like, well, 5% in reality won't give you the biggest boost and stuff like that, you know? And you can skip that perk and instead concentrate on the perk that will unlock you the clothing. But those smaller perks will have more of them. So there'll be more common one. That means if you spend your time on the smaller perks, you make your civilization stronger. It takes you a little bit more time, but again, you have ability to choose from going faster. Like if you go for faster evolution, you can. And at the same time, you can choose ability to not miss any opportunity and research everything that possible to help your nuggets survive some brutal conditions. Another big thing coming with update of AI and the planet structure and stuff like that is hunting and exploration. So as you can see, that our planet is pretty much, it's still breathing planet, but it's missing the biggest part. It's missing the wild nature, you know, like wild animals, which is on hold again. Like it's ready. And you guys probably saw it in our previous updates that we have some mammoth walking around, wolves and stuff like that. The art style of those changing a little bit to more awesome. But we'll be ready to re-enable them, and you'll see more animals, more birds, and stuff like that. More animals that actually swim in the oceans and stuff like that. Ryan, any more questions we have, or
yeah? Can you touch on the well versus pump? I think there might be some confusion by some people in terms of needing a pump to water people.
Sure. Yeah, it might be a little bit confusing because we just recently changed the way the well works. So wells no longer require you to build the pumps. So because it kind of makes sense. The wells just usually use underground water, you know, like that's why you dig a hole in the ground, and it provides you with the water. So how it works in our new system, which we changed a few patches before, when you select the well, again, and this is again comes, our biomes comes in place where it's not static, it's not, you know, just like dead 3D model or anything. So it really depends. You can see the number above the well, which shows you 15. This is the force of the water in the well. This is how much water well will be providing. And if you change this, like if you see like you're putting the well on a biome that consists of more stones, it gives you extra 2 points. Or if you start going away from the water source, you'll see that it's decreasing actually. The well, it's getting to 0 in some places. So yeah, if there's a desert or any bad biomes and stuff like that, it will start decreasing. But pretty much the concept behind this is, so the well gives you more water when you close to the water source. Think of like the underground waters. So this is kind of the concept behind this. And when you place the well, you better pay attention because some of this, like 2 points, make a difference. You know, like the how fast and slow the well will be refilled, and I will show you what that mean is. So if I place the well here, and I can open you the old well. So you can see that this well have a force of 17. So that's mean the water will be refilled with the speed of 17 here. And why you need to know that is because this bars dedicated to one nugget usage. That's mean if the nugget will go ahead and drink from this well, he will deplete 1 bar, and that bar will start refilling with this speed. So if you have a lot of nuggets and your well placed somewhere in the desert area, or like you can see it here, you see she had her cup of fresh water and now it's refilling with the speed of 17. So that's mean if there'll be like I think 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nugget will drink at the same time. They will deplete the water from the well right away, and that should be alerting for you, and it will look like this, and that's mean nobody else can drink from the well until this bars will be filled. And so yeah, that's why this number is important, and you want to pay attention at times and see what force that the water is refilled. We have the water as well in the eateries, but in eatery we treat water more as beverage. Like it takes a little bit longer to fill these bars in eatery, but the biggest thing in eatery with the dish and with the food. So we have 2 type of food on the planet, and you can see we change it here so you can see it as well. There's a raw food, uncooked, and there is a cooked food. We call them dish in the eatery. When the nugget eat cooked food, their hunger speed actually reduced by 2. That's mean they need less food to survive. That's mean their hunger will be depleting slower. Same thing happens in eatery's water. If there is water available in eatery, nugget go pick it up. They drink it from here. So this is a priority for them. If they see that there is a water in the eatery, as you can see, this guy just grabbed the water. So he will drink that rather than just going to the well, because he knows that that's more satisfying and fulfilling for him. That will reduce his thirst slower. As you can see, that his thirst is increasing right now, and it will start depleting after he's done. It will start depleting with 2 times slower than it would have with the well. So yeah, we changed the well. We unlinked it. Before you had to place the pump, and pump will be generating water for the well, which is, I mean, it's okay, but it's not it doesn't feel natural or like the way it should work. And we decided to change it on this mechanic, and I think it works really well right now.
So another question that keeps coming up a lot is Endgame, and more specifically other races like aliens. People want to know about that.
Well, Endgame, we're not planning to have any kind of Endgame. I mean,
like no final boss.
Yeah, there's no game over screen, or there's no like congratulations screen, like with things and stuff like that. Our goal is to make the game more and more challenging as you progress. Like you can simply go to the all different planets and stuff like that, start connecting them. We will balance it the way that you have less micromanagement on the one planet when you start discovering other planets. So you don't have to really worry about like, hey, my eatery on planet Zelda is not functioning or something like that, because Nugget will be able to will be smart enough to take care of that by themselves, but instead you will be more concentrated on your resource depletion. Like you will see that there's like oil, gas, everything is like linked to the planet as well. Like you can trade in between planets, you can help other colonies on other planets, like you'll see the spaceships come from the planet, landing on your planet, unloading oil, loading gas, moving to the different planet and stuff like that. So, and yes, again, no no winning, no kind of, yeah, you can lose, but there's no winning really. Like you can't really win. Like you can win by sharing something, like setting up the record and stuff like that. Maybe we'll have some statistic sharing in between players. We even plan to add something special as the chat in between players. Like you'll be able to build antennas late, mid-age, and antennas will allow you to discover other players. Again, not multiplayer, not expected to be like, again, it sounds like a little bit No Man's Sky-ish, but yeah, but it's more like communicating between each other, you know, not really arriving on somebody's planet and start throwing their nuggets or stuff like that. So it's more like some connections, some maybe trading in between two civilizations, like yours and your friends and stuff like that. But again, this is not a promise. It's something that we're thinking about, and it just yeah, we want to have some kind of like multiplayer aspect, but we don't want to use too much sources on that because hey, we're very small. We need support, and if we'll start jumping over our head, it will hurt us. We'll not be able to achieve anything that way. So we'd rather stay small. I mean, with our features and not promise you anything crazy. But at the same time, we can share with you what we're thinking of, like what will be great, and if we'll have enough support and stuff like that, we'll make it even bigger and brighter.
So people were asking about what inspired the game. A lot of people wondering if Black and White inspired you to develop this game.
Not really.
Yes.
I mean, Black and White is a great game. I mean, I would say it's more of everything combined together, you know, like I personally love games, like I like SimCity, I like Sims, I like Black and White is a great game, yes, the Populous and stuff like that. It's bits and pieces, but in the reality, like we still wanted to build unique experience for the players, you know, like something that you never encountered before. You still can find some familiar features, you know, like hey, this is, you can build things, you know, like, or hey, this is like resources and stuff like that. But in the reality, like it's still another reason why it's super challenging is because it's kind of like unique experience or unique process of development process, where in some games, like where they're similar, for example, if you take SimCity and City Skyline, you can kind of like go from one game to another and see like, okay, how did they do that? Like how they resolved this issue, how they resolved this problem. In our case, it's very challenging because we don't have games that really made something similar in the past, you know, like yes, there's strategy games, you know, but nothing really concentrated on a life aspect, you know, nothing really provides you that organic feel that we're going for, you know, like there's games that yes, you can build settlements, but great example, for example, Banished is a really great game and mind-blowing that the only one guy built that, and it's amazing. But again, we're trying to bring more of things connected to each other, you know, like some, again, the biomes, temperatures, winds, nugget lives, everything is pretty much dependent on each other, which makes the balancing extremely hard, because when you change one thing, it affects another thing. It's layers on top of the layers, and so yeah, inspiration, everything. So we're inspired by all the games that you guys love. We love the games as well. I personally play the games. I love. Just recently played a bit Tropico 5, a great game. Then SimCity again, Sims, and things like that. Yeah, there's no such a specific game as I can say, hey, I love Black and White, that's why I'm making this game. You know, no, it's all games all together. We're just making something that we love to play. It's more like what we love to play versus adapting somebody's game into ours, you know, and kind of giving it reborn or something like that. So, and we also had some issues with some our patcher launcher issues where it wouldn't allow our fans play the game on Mac Sierra, their newest operation system. We fixed that issue, and it should roll in today as well. So if you had in the past issue where you couldn't launch the game on the Macs, so it should be fixed today. If not, come chat with us on our forums. Yeah. Anything more questions? Challenge me.
What's the meaning of life? I'm just kidding.
There's no meaning of life. You're useless. You mean nothing. Same as a nugget. So you get bored.
Can you talk about the happiness? How that's going to affect things?
This is actually, we're going to talk about it more within our next update on our website. So go ahead and subscribe if you're interested in more details. But the happiness, how it's going to affect, it's pretty much, the happiness is a need, right? So every nugget have different needs, which is hunger, thirst, rest, and the happiness. Happiness is pretty much the same way. It will deplete by time, and things like mating will improve it, which is makes sense, right? Everybody loves to mate. And so mating will improve that, and we'll have a special buildings which improve nuggets happiness, such as in the modern age we can call it movie theater, bars, and stuff like that. So when nuggets happiness is low, they go there to have some fun, to refill it, and come back. But there will be opposite to those entertainment buildings. There will be buildings that actually make nuggets unhappy. An example is cemetery. We want to have what are called? Forgot the name for where you burn people. Corpse. Crematory. How do you say it? Well, pretty much that. Some buildings will have some negative effect on a nugget. For example, if Forecast Tower will have a negative effect, it will have some kind of like a indicator surrounding it, showing you that, hey, this guy with broken leg walking here, his life is already not the candy. He's not enjoying it because the leg is broken. So this building is on top of that, will affect his happiness. Yeah, he decided to get help from the witch doctor. But yeah, happiness. For example, what can happen if nugget is unhappy? The nugget will work slower. They will have more frequent stops. They will like sit in the corner somewhere. There's no corners, but planet doesn't have corner. But if there would be a corner on the planet, he will sit in the corner of the planet and he will cry, or he'll complain. He'll be unhappy. When it gets to extreme levels, where nuggets super extremely, and he's seeing that his fellow nuggets are enjoying their lives, he'll start putting their huts on fire, or doing some kind of nasty stuff that nobody will like. Of course, you have a tool to pick him up and launch him to meet Matthew McConaughey somewhere in space, and stuff like that. Or you can be nice and try to resolve the problem with the nugget, and keep everybody happy without launching nuggets into space or in orbit, or killing them with lightning strike and stuff like that. And you wanna ask something again, Ryan? Or
I mean, it's getting pretty close to the 1 hour mark.
Okay.
I don't have any other specific questions at the moment.
Yeah, there's another good feature I can go through that's coming soon. Is unique missions. Well, like small missions that will keep you entertained while you do some busy stuff, observing nuggets, helping them to survive and stuff like that. So there will be side missions almost like. So the black and white is kind of good example if you think about it. Imagine or recall when the guy had like at the beginning of black and white game there was like a boulder on the farm. The guy was like, hey, help me to, dear God, help me to remove this boulder from the farm. We can't get enough food and stuff like that. And you have the option to remove the boulder or just drop the same boulder on that guy and just like get over it, you know. So we're planning to have some side missions like that where Nugget might stand, like female Nugget might stand here in the middle, jumping, waving, and crying. And when you click on her, she'll be like, hey, my little boy lost in the woods, can you help me find him, and things like that. And our system will spawn that little boy randomly somewhere on the planet, surrounded by wolves, and wolves will bark and stuff like that. And you'll have to actually fly around the planet, try to find that little boy to help him because he lost somewhere at night, somewhere here, for example, and there's like a bunch of wolves surrounding him. And you'll have an option again to pick him up and bring him back to his mom, or send him to meet the Matthew McConaughey again. It's your choice to make. And we'll have some statistics. We plan to have some statistics as if you play the games such as like Walking Dead, where you'll have some statistics saying, hey, 57% of people decided to launch this boy into space, or 50 or whatever 30% decided to bring this boy back to his mom, and stuff like that. So some basic features, you know, some basic statistics that will keep the smile on your face, but at the same time they will not cost us gazillion amount of time, you know, to implement and stuff like that. So yeah, it's, again, there's a lot of to cover. We'll try to do the streams a little bit more often, but all of this stuff is really taking our time away, you know. Like we'd rather spend some time on development, even a simple thing as you can think like, hey, releasing patch takes maybe like 3 to 4 to 5 days from our development cycle. So that's mean 3 to 4 or 5 days we're concentrated on making things working for you. Instead of spending those 3-5 days in like once in the 6 months or once in the 8 months, like patching things and making things work, we do that every month. But hey, we're not complaining, we're enjoying working with you. It just so you guys will know the process a little bit better. It's not easy, and it takes some time. So, and we hope you guys understand and appreciate that, because we really do that with love. Your feedback is extremely important. It's extremely hurtful if something doesn't work as well, and it's extremely positive and makes us really happy to see that you guys excited about what we're doing. So if everybody's happy, we will end our stream. If you guys have more questions, feel free to tweet. Twitter is a great place to answer a question. I mean, we don't have a lot of people following us. I think it's about 5,000 people, and that's why it's kind of like manageable to answer your questions there if you have any. Forums are a really great place. We have the forum boss here, Aura, or Mir. She's our forum police. So if you guys have any questions or troubles with the forum, she's the one that will resolve anything, help you.
I'm the one that sends you the email when you sign up for the forums.
Yes, the personal welcome email, personal touch. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, she's very friendly, and well, somebody was asking you if you're single, I remember. So she's not.
No.
She's not. Keep that in mind. She's already having her own little baby, her own nugget. So.
Does anybody ask about me?
Hey, nobody cares about you. What are you talking
about?
No. True.
Ryan, just hang up, man. No, Ryan is our part of our QA team. This is amazing guy.
He's actually one of the first QA members.
Yeah, he's the guy who's going through the dirty underwear. No, that's a bad word. through the dirty cloth to see what's wrong with the game before you guys actually will enjoy it. So he's the one that tells us like, hey, this patch sucks. You guys need to put your head out of whatever and fix things because I can't enjoy it.
And we got help. It's not just me.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, true. But again, if you see the bugs and things broken, so blame him, not us. So he's the one. I will share his bank account and home address on our Twitter as well if you guys have problems with that with him. So it's a great place to give him a visit and get to know guy. But yeah, back to it. Thank you very much, Ryan. Yes, he's amazing, and we have Kyle, Jared, as well in our internal QA team. Those guys are amazing as well. Been helping us a lot. And now again, we have forums as well. We have some fans that are helping us on the forums. And if you're interested, send Brian or Mir message, and they will add you to the group where you can have access to the game a little bit early.
I'm Sockman, by the way. So if you're looking for me on the forums, you're not going to find Ryan. It's Sockman.
Yes. And on this note, I guess we can over our stream.
Thanks everybody for joining. It's a good crowd today.
Yes, thank you all very much. Again, thank you all for supporting the project. The Universim is very big and complex, and we're really happy that you guys understand that, and that we're not just your regular platformer indie game, which is, again, nothing wrong with that. It's great games, but it's bigger and more complex and much harder for us to develop. And I think so far we had a great success, and we're doing a great job. Our development team is amazing. Our engineers doing really cool stuff, and we'll continue doing that. And you please do so as well. Continue supporting. It's very important for us. And everybody, thank you very much. And I guess we can end on this note, unless me or Ryan want to add anything else. If not, I'll click on the red button.
Press it. Press the red button. You know you want it.
All right. The Inception sound coming.
Oh God, no.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.